raged in the south and the ranges of the north were absent, brigands and ruffians took an opportunity to wrest control of Bree.
Well, good morning, YouTube, and happy Wednesday. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're having a good day so far. Today, I wanted to take a look at a little game that just released, well, a couple of days ago. It's called the Abbess Garden, and it is a farming simulation game that takes place in 1643 France. So, I was kind of interested in that. You're going to apparently restore a forbidden abbey garden, grow and identify real plants through the seasons, uncover a spy plot, help the community, and find romance. Well, we could skip that last part. But the rest of it I am very interested in, especially the whole I grow and identify real plants, which is not something you too often see in farming sims. So we'll take a quick look at the trailer, and I'm going to turn that down. I like the art style, it's very cute. And apparently there is a story here. Oh yeah, and those are definitely all real plants. So the game is by MD Studio, published by NDIO. And just real quick, let's see what else NDIO has. A lot of stuff. So as you can see, they publish a lot of indie games. Very interesting. All right, that's not what we're supposed to be looking at. So the game is on a 20% discount right now. Usually it's going to go for $9.99 USD. Right now it is $7.99 USD, and I actually got it a little bit cheaper because I already had Ale & Tail Tavern, so I got a little extra discount on it. No reviews yet. Well, let's find out. We're going to start a new game. Welcome to Port Royal de Camp. You'll be able to move with the keyboard and interact with your instruments and buttons with the mouse. Many secrets and luscious plants await you among the walls of the Abbess Garden. Enter the Abbey. So it is March right now. Agnes arrived at an empty abbey shortly after matins. The dawn haze gave way to mossy walls, turned bright green by the morning sun. As she entered the open gatehouse framed by ivy, the bees and many insects, making it their home, buzzed welcomingly. Looks like Mère Angelique is not here yet. The grounds of Port Royal de Camp were serenely quiet, no soul in sight. She could see the garden walls from here. Caring for the Abbess garden was to be her obligation. Walking the perimeter of the garden, she found part of the wall crumbling. Climbing it would be trivial. Morning, DP. She did. Might as well see what we're working with. I'm doing fine. How are you? Open the book. So this is Agnes's field book. So we need to examine the iris. I need to check out how the iris in the garden are doing. A garden? a historical game. It is a historical farming sim. I guess it is. Okay, I don't know anybody from Wisconsin. That's definitely spam. Okay. All right. Okay. Character movement feels kind of floaty. Now, I did turn up the character speed, so if you go into settings, you can actually change the walking speed. But we're not playing around. Very immersive, right? Examine. The flower is sad. It is appropriately growing. It says period appropriate for growth. It needs more water. I should water the soil. Now, let's examine it again. It is now happy. Now what? There must be at least a wild groundsel in the garden. So we need to find a wild groundsel. I have to admit the movement feels, yeah, I know it does feel that way a little bit. That's another plant that needs watering. All right, the plant is now satisfied. But I guess technically, if you're wearing wide skirts that go all the way down to your feet, if you think about it, it would have almost appeared as if women were gliding. I wonder if we don't have the volume a little too low. Oh, can you all hear the sound? Ah, here's groundsel. And it also needs watering. We have to be a little more careful with that one. It doesn't need a lot of water. All right, now that plant is satisfied. So, oh, and it tells us a little bit about the plants. The bright yellow iris is symbol of kings, faith, and hope. They like wet soil and flourish from March to May. Groundsel. It is considered a weed but doesn't really do any harm. It flowers almost all year long. It can be used to regulate menstruations. Okay. I had no clue. Another one that needs watering. Okay. That made that one happy. What do we have here? Oh, more groundsel. Oh, maybe we can close that now. Okay, I guess we can't go past that. Oh, okay, if you look close enough, her legs are moving. She's not being as floaty as we thought. But, like I said, those would have been a full skirt, probably a layer or two of petticoat, and the bloomers. So you would have barely seen a woman's legs move, you know? Guess that's it. I don't think we can do anything else in here. Maybe I'm wrong. Happy, happy, happy. The ordinary soil type. Which is also kind of interesting that it tells you, oh, I wonder. We got a couple of plots here. Try something. Okay, maybe not. I would have thought we could replant it here. Maybe not. Can we replant it here? Oh, we can. All right, it says happy and dormant, and it is watered. Oh, okay. To unlock the next chapter, you need to complete all objectives, talk with everybody, replant all digged out plants. I see you have found the garden. The Abbess, Angelique Arnauld, has entered the garden while Agnes was distracted. Très Reverend Mayor. I'm sorry I couldn't find you, and oh, nothing wrong with some healthy, zealous work ethic. You and I will be the only people allowed in here from now on. But allow me to formally welcome you to Port Royal de Camp. Your father speaks highly of you. He exaggerates, I'm sure. He agreed to this position on the condition that you continue your education. Beyond your obligations, you may find many interesting people pass through Port Royal. They will welcome a stimulating conversation with an enterprising young lady such as yourself. What better education than conversing with the luminaries of our times, I say. But I'm sure you won't need much help knowing what to do. I did notice that some plants needed watering. Ipso facto, I'll leave you to it. Go in peace, my child. And we have met the Abbess. I think we've pretty much watered everything. Bonjour, monsieur. Save your... Oh, and I guess it's a monsieur. Monsieur... Well, we'll say monsieur. Save your monsieur for them lordlings filthying our land. Who's been tending the Abbey's ground before they came along? Who's been teaching you what to make of this damp soil? I'm very grateful for your teachings, and more teachings you need, if the elder mother is to be believed. Is it true you've been cursed with the garden of the Abbess? Imagine the state of it, all their pointless flowers and weeds taking space from nettle and onions, and I can only try to make it the best it can be. I do not doubt you can, Agnes. I care not for the pious little garden forbidden to the common folk, but this is good work you've been given, and I intend to help you in it. Thank you, Gosset. Have you planted marigold yet? No garden should go with no marigold. No matter. I was prepared and brought some seeds. Do make use of them. I have plenty more from my own garden. If you ever need any help or seed or sapling, come find me. I will plant them first thing today. You better, my child. No garden should go with no marigold. That's what I say. Why do I get the feeling that was her papa? And he's very gruff. But papas tend to be gruff, especially when they're annoyed by things. We need to plant some marigold seeds. 5 of them, to be exact. Okay, so we can't plant anything in those spots. Where should we plant marigold? Plant one here. Okay, that seedling is happy. Okay, you should plant 2 of them here. All right. Okay. All right, this one needs water. All right, that is adequately watered. We planted marigold seeds in March of 1643. All right, that one is happy. And I think that was it. Marigold. A small plant that produces bright orange flowers. The seed should be planted from March to May. It likes direct sunlight and requires a regular amount of water. It soothes the skin, cicatrices wounds, and drives away flies. It's also a very good flower to put in your vegetable garden because it'll attract the insects away from your vegetable plants to it. Fun fact, I learned that growing up. My mom loved to garden. Still loves to garden, I think. She just can't do it as much as she used to. And what do we have here? Bonjour, ma fille. You must be she who was so honored to care for our Abbess's garden. Antoine Lamastre at your service. Agnes Duchemin, it is indeed my honor. Have you been in Port Royal for long, my lord? You could say so. I pride myself on being one of the original members of the Solitaires. But alas, I am no lord, just a humble lawyer. One who's had little chance to practice of late, I fear. Has life as a solitaire not provided the fulfillment you had hoped? Oh, most definitely has. Moral discipline, inner peace, community, all that a good Christian might need. May my humble garden work provide me but a portion of such enlightenment. I will pray for it, dear Agnes. It really is something. This lifestyle is making me appreciate the little things. In fact, say, perhaps you could satisfy a small curiosity of mine. I couldn't help but peek into the garden the last time I passed by the gate. I noticed a beautiful yellowish flower that seems quite omnipresent. Ah, have you an interest in flowering plants? You may be thinking of irises. The Abbess garden is truly filled with them. I shall bring you one next time. Yes, iris, you say. Is it spelled with an I? I believe so. Ah, but yes, sure, do bring me a flower. I am sure they are lovely flowers. New quest, dig out a flowering iris. I guess we can pick this one. Bonjour, monsieur. I have brought you an iris. Bonjour to you, Agnes. This will make my dining table that much brighter. But you really oughtn't have troubled yourself. It was no trouble. It may actually be good to pick the garden's offerings sooner rather than later. I noticed some of the flower beds were damaged. I think some creature might have been enjoying these flowers before us. Oh, that's unfortunate. You should see Monsieur Francois about that. He's one of the other solitaires. He has a way with wildlife, and quite the strong build, if you pardon me to say so. I hope it's not something too vicious. Would a vicious creature dine on flowers? The garden is in good hands. No creature will change that. And that says to end the month. It feels like the game is very linear. but rather interesting so far. Agnes arrived at the Abbey, birds chirping, trees dancing in the wind. Mère Angelique approached her at a steady pace. "Hello, my child. I had hoped to find you on your way in." "Salutation à vous, mother." "I trust you're finding the work agreeable?" "Yes, the garden is beautiful. I had hoped to possibly ask about planting—" "Of course, my child, as long as the precepts of our Lord are followed, you may do as you wish. This does mean ensuring that everything already in the garden is well cared for. Do you understand?" "Bien sûr, mother. I will take good care of it." "Antoine tells me you helped him with a personal matter. Be careful with that one. He's quite the orator, but has a tendency to drag you into his affairs. Make sure these conversations do not distract you from your observances. The garden must thrive." "I won't, Abbess. The garden will be my priority. Run along now, child. Go forth and sow the seed of the Lord." I actually wasn't quite expecting such a, well, I guess maybe I should have. It takes place in an abbey. I mean, right? "Bonjour, monsieur." The policeman was busy tending a small vegetable garden. He turned to face Agnes, his red locks of hair laying on his pointlessly muscular shoulders. "Bonjour. You must be the new warden of the Abbess's garden." "Yes, Monsieur le Maistre has advised me to ask for your help." "Ah, I'm quite new to gardening myself. I would not presume to advise such an artist as yourself." "Oh, I don't know if I'd call gardening an art. It's mostly about lived experience, I think. I'd love to exchange gardening experiences at a better time. But I'm afraid I'm here to ask for help with a more earthly matter." Agnes did not like relying on others' help. She considered her words carefully. "What would you do, monsieur, if you saw now a beast entering your garden?" "I'd shove my spade into its mouth." "Well, I wasn't so lucky as to see it enter the Abbess's garden. I have only noticed some damage on the flower beds, but I already keep watch over the garden during the day, so the intrusions must happen at night. Worry not, Agnes. I'll keep watch the next few nights. I will hunt the intruder, or simply learn what sort of creature it might be. Yes, of course, all God's creatures, of course." "I thank you, monsieur." "Wait, before you go, I may have something for you after all." Francois enters a nearby shed and returns with a small bag. "I came into possession of more sage seeds than I could possibly use. I thought you might need them for the Abbess's garden, maybe." "Oh, my thanks. Sage is quite the staple of any garden. Let's go back to work, then. I'm looking forward to having that conversation on gardening, Agnes. As am I, monsieur." It's very story-driven, and we have met the solitary gardener named Francois. So we need to check plants in the garden, find all the rosary beads. Somebody has broken their rosary in the Abbess's garden. I should find all the pieces. And plant sage. And we have found the rosary cross. We'll have to check all these flowers in a minute. A rosary, okay. Looks like we need one more piece of the rosary. We have found all the rosary beads. All right. Now, we have plants to check. All right. That plant is satisfied. Okay. Oh, I keep forgetting I can move with WASD. But you can also click the ground and move too. Okay, that one is happy. Although we could probably water it a little bit more. It looks like they're both happy. Okay, that one needs watering. I feel like I should move them, but at the same time I don't really want to. But I feel like I might have to move them at some point. And need to check on 9 more plants, huh? Well, I guess a lot of plants have popped up since we last were here. Okay, so that one's fine. Oh, hello, cat. Okay. Right, that one and that one are satisfied. It's very careful and very deliberate. You have to check everything. Okay, would you look at that plant, please? All right, so we've checked on all the plants in the garden. Now we need to plant the sage. Where am I planting the sage at? I think I want to plant the sage over here. Maybe. Okay. Where does it want me to plant it? Ah, here we go. Finally. Okay, satisfied. So, sage actually likes to be dry. Dry to slightly wet. And sage. A staple for any garden, it heals almost everything and has great taste. It should be planted from April to May. It likes sunlight but doesn't fear the frost. So next month. Heals almost everything. I mean, press X to doubt on that, but now I'll have to look up the medicinal properties of sage to see what they mean. As Agnes made her way to the garden, enveloped in a slow, dreary morning, she noticed Antoine immersed in a bundle of papers sitting on a bench beneath the garden entrance. Salutation à vous, Monsieur le Maistre. Agnes, ma chère amie, I did so hope to find you before your obligations. How can I be of service? Ah, yes, I am in need of your counsel again, your botanical expertise, if you will. You see, I have fond memories of a plant that lay on my night table as a child, but whose name escapes me. I had hoped you might help me remember it. I can but try. You see, it's a plant, one could assume, presenting what may be a flower or bulbous shape of a flowery nature anyhow, with springy tentacles ending in a spear of leafy sprouts, which may actually be the flowery crowns as it occurs to me as we speak. What color are the flowers? Oh, I could not say. What shape its leaves? Now, I certainly have never noted. They look leaf-shaped. I may need a lot more information, I fear. I see, I see. Very well. Given the circumstances, I may have to ask forgiveness. I have not been entirely truthful. Now, this would not be advisable discussing normally, I must warn you. Yet I find myself in a position that requires your discreet collaboration where you will be willing to partake in my conspiracy. I am just a humble gardener, monsieur. Yes, yes, you are, my dear, which makes you perfectly placed to provide the information I require and raise no suspicion. I am honestly not sure I should be involved. Don't you mind that, Agnes, dear. We can just pretend this converse never happened, and I shall only share the most essential of information devoid of all dangerous context. You see, the plant whose name I require comes from an illustration providing little detail. I trust you know I would not have engaged in such spurious description where the details you asked had been available to me. I, after all, pride myself on being a man of enviable dialectics. Of course, monsieur. Wait here, Agnes. This is not something I can explain. You must view the illustration yourself. The distinguished man departed, leaving Agnes waiting and mildly worried of tardiness in her duties. I return, and I bring the fruit of our conspiracy. Look on to this. May you find solutions where I only see blotches and shapes. A small, worn-out journal. It could fit in a small pocket if one willed it, but the consumed, overused pages made it thick with secrets. The leather-bound cover had no distinguishing feature or title beyond being heavily worn out from ages of use. The lawyer opened it to a full-page illustration of an obscured plant, indeed featuring little details. But Agnes recognized at a glance the leaf shape and their conformation specific to the very plant she had spent the day working on, sage. I believe this may be sage, monsieur. Remarkable, Agnes, remarkable. I may need some time to interpret this information fruitfully, but no doubt this is right. I'm glad to be of help. Oh, you were much more than that, my dear. I may have further need of your services yet. You see, great things are unfolding, and you may well be the hands that so unfolds them. Why do I sense some sort of conspiracy here? Get your eyes on the book Antron is trying to hide. Okay. Okay. What is Antoine up to? There definitely is a little bit of a mystery here. Good vespers, mother. Bonsoir, Agnes. Have you completed your obligations for the day? Not quite, mother, but I found this rosary. Oh dear, it's my rosary. Where did you find it? I found its beads in the garden. I assumed it to be yours, so I took the liberty to put it back together. Thank you, my dear. I so dearly missed it. I couldn't bring myself to replace it yet. It was a gift from my grandsire. Was he who inspired you to take your vows? Maybe. I used to spend whole days in his study. But is it really a choice, one made by a girl of 9? What may have been chosen for me, God chose through them. Not unlike what brought me to choose you as the warden of the garden. And we have completed everything. We can end the month and start May. It's kind of like a visual novel, but it's also a farming sim. Kind of interesting. Agnes heard the steps while lost gazing onto the yellow iris flowers. She had left the garden gate open, having entered only to quickly water them. Good morning, mademoiselle. Oh, a musketeer, huh? The musketeer was accompanied by a much quieter one standing behind him. They both seemed surprised to see her there. Monsieur le Mousquetaires, good morning. Mousquetaires? But this is the Abbess's garden. No one is permitted here but the caretaker and the Abbess herself. You are the caretaker? Yes, it is my privilege. Pardon for the intrusion. We are here on cardinalatial business. The fact remains, you're not permitted here, monsieur. I am sure the abbess would not object to the word of Cardinal Mazarin. It would be presumptuous of me to speculate on the abbess's judgment, as it would be to style myself a gatekeeper of some sort. I can only ensure the gate is closed with no one in it when I leave, as I was instructed, Agnes said, shaking the garden keys poignantly. She speaks the truth. Let's go. He turned decisively to go, mindlessly stepping on the irises. The other musketeer instead took his time, making a point of kicking the few irises spared by the quiet one. That night Agnes checked twice the gate lock, making sure it was sturdy locked. Talk to the men trying to break into the garden. Okay, so now we got 3 people to talk to now. We've got our Papa here. Bonjour, Goss. Have you heard of the king's passing? Bah! I never much cared for that Henry fellow. All those royals are the same. I was a babe when Henry passed, Goss. The king that died is Louis. I care little. All those royals are the same. Hear you me, Agnes. Mind about your garden and ignore those politics and squabbles. We came from dirt, we'll end in dirt. Caring for dirt is the best we can do with ourselves. I fear it may be the politics and squabbles that are minding me. 2 threatening-looking musketeers tried to enter the garden just the other day. Unpious pigs. Are you okay, child? What did they do? Oh, don't you worry, Goss. Nothing to me. I asked them to leave, but they took their disagreement to the irises. It is a much drabber spring with no irises in the garden. May they be renounced by their mothers and suffer a worse fate than that of king of yours. Say no more, my child. I am much too old for the romance of irises anyway. I'll bring you some of my plants tomorrow. We'll have your garden flowering once more. Hey, he does not like the royal family much, does he? Now let's see, who do we talk to next? Let's talk to our buddy here. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, Agnes. I must compliment you on the garden. I was not able to find our nightly visitor, I'm afraid, but the smell of sage kept me good company on my investigation. I have brought you some valerian seeds if you'd like to plant them. They are my favorite, and I would just about see them from the gate when you leave it open. Thank you, monsieur. I'll try and plant them somewhere visible from outside, but I'm afraid I won't be able to keep the gate open anymore. It seems nocturnal beasts are not the only ones trying to enter the garden. Ah, the musketeers. You knew? It seemed wise not to intervene. You wouldn't have been able to enter the garden anyway. I hope the king's death won't have any more ill effect on our work here. One can but hope the crown will pay little mind to our lives, now that they see how humbly we lead them. I'll let you get back to work. May the life thriving in your garden not be plagued, as our king appears to have been. So I guess we get a little historical context here, too. Although, I'll be honest, I don't know much about 17th century England. I mean, despite, having watched things like The Three Musketeers, which is not wholly as historically accurate, I'm sure. Alright, let's talk to the mother. Bonjour, Agnes. May the light of God shine through in these trying times. The White Death comes also for kings, it seems. None of that. Illness hold no such power over us. Kings and us alike will be called to our Lord in time. Will his death cause any trouble for the Abbey? King Louis took steps to ensure a peaceful transition of power to his child. I could imagine the Regency wants to verify the king's assets, but do not be alarmed. Any functionary or, God help us, musketeer that may come has nothing of interest to find beyond our subservience. I fear I already had the pleasure. Oh dear, what fate befalls us? What happened? 2 musketeers came trying to enter the garden. Since you didn't know, I assumed they never came looking for your permission, like they said. I fear they cared little for my authority. You are right to maintain the sanctity of the garden, but do not endanger yourself, my child. With the king's passing, many will take the chance to pursue their interest, and many are unscrupulous in their hunt for power. I would never let anybody cause harm to the garden. Think about harm to yourself, child. Plants grow and die, as it's the will of the Lord. They will grow again. Conversely, there is but one Agnes Duchemin. So we need to check on the marigolds, replant the irises. Goss gave me iris to replant after musketeers damaged some earlier, and examine the sage growth. Let's start with the sage, which is over here. And they appear to be happy. Now, we have the valerian seeds to plant. Now, do we have anything about valerian in here? No, not yet. Apparently not until we plant them. A new plant step has been discovered. The groundsel is mature. Here's our marigolds. They still seem to be appropriately watered. And those are fine. Another happy marigold. That one's happy. That one's happy. So we need to replant the irises. Where are we going to put the irises at? Can we put the irises over here? I feel like they'd be happy there. Put them here. All right. All right, they all appear to seem happy enough. All right, there's our irises. Now we need to plant the valerian. Can't get where it can be seen from the open door. I think here might be good. All right. I think that I don't know if I could get away with watering it a second time. We'll try. All right, that's good. Valerian. Elegant and tall plant with pale pink flowers. It is rather common around here. Valerian is known for calming the mood, and some say it can make people fall in love. If you say so. I think that did it for everything we were supposed to do. It did. I guess if we really wanted to, we could just hang out in the garden for a little while. The story seems to progress at your pace. To unlock the next chapter, you need to talk with everybody. Boy, that would be a tall order. I mean, even in the 17th century, everybody's a lot of people. Okay, but I think they mean talk to this guy here. Having fallen behind on her duties, Agnes found herself doing her last round of the garden as night fell. As she grew entranced on the long orange shadows of the greenery, one appeared to move uncharacteristically. Agnes raised her rake menacingly when Monsieur Francois at last revealed himself. "Agnes, forgive me. I had nowhere left to turn." He sounded haggard and appeared to be bedraggled, quite the opposite of what she had come to expect from the proud and poised gardener. "You cannot be here, monsieur. If the abbess were to catch you, she is not the only one. I'd rather not catch me at the moment. The musketeers came looking for something in my possession, a harmless memento of years gone by. It may have been his tone, or the leaves hanging from his disheveled hair, but something told Agnes there may be something more to his harmless memento. I find myself forced to ask for a neighborly favor. Just as I should not be here, the musketeers would not, in good conscience, enter the garden again. May you hide it here? If I were to rely on you for this, I would not need to enter the garden to retrieve it." Agnes hesitated. Was that truthful, or was he trying to maintain his ignorance on the actual hiding spot? "It's all right, monsieur. I'd be happy to help. Nobody will find it here." "Oh, thank you, Agnes. I'm forever grateful." The gentlemanly gardener made sure the item was safely secured in the rags he had been holding before handing it to Agnes. "I must trust your discretion and ask not to open this if I may." "Of course. I would never presume." "Thank you. I will be back for it, but until then I must depart." "Be careful, monsieur. Nobody must see you leave the garden." "Worry not, Agnes. Discretion is something I do not lack." And so he left, back in the bush he had appeared from, and not the gates on the opposite side of the garden. How many ways were there to breach the sanctity of the garden? Agnes wondered about all the secrets that appeared to surround it. What was so important that may be looked for by the cardinal's musketeers, no less? Agnes hesitated just enough to make sure no prying eyes were on her, but at last she opened the rags to see what was that Francois so eagerly wanted to hide. A journal, but no ordinary one. It was bulky with notes and had a dark purple, worn-out, untitled cover. Agnes had seen this before in the hands of another solitaire. It was the journal Antoine had asked help deciphering. Hey, interesting that this journal has appeared once more. Very interesting indeed. On a bench, Antoine was staring at the hedge facing him with a forlorn expression. His usual self-assuredness had given way to a kind of melancholy. "Monsieur le Maistre?" "Ah, Agnes, I'm glad to see you. always a light in these unsure times. He returned his stare onto nothingness. I'm sorry to bother, but I saw Monsieur Francois very winded a few days ago. He asked me to care for a journal. I could not help but note it had a striking similarity to the one you had asked me to decipher last month. Nothing escapes our warden's attentive eye, I see. Indeed, it was the same journal. I had asked Francois to hide it. I had hoped not to involve you further, but alas, we are foreigners in unfamiliar lands. Sometimes we may be forced to rely on the kindness of locals such as yourself. I dare not ask what you have done with it. It may be better for me not to know. His eyes don't lie. He wants to know. He needs the journal back. May I ask? Are there dangers within it? Oh, no, Agnes, not quite as such. But I won't lie. It is not only that I cares for the journal, and not all may have the most luminary of intentions for its use. Why did you need it hidden? People were looking for it. The Musketeers? Alas. You see, it belonged to one of great import. The author is long gone now, but his spy-like action shaped the kingdom as it is. I would not be surprised if this matter of secession spurred people to search more actively for it. Would the kingdom not be the rightful owner of such a journal? That may be if the spy were French, but our beloved kingdom was not blessed with such a mind. John Cecil was his name. Poor, unassuming, pious Pierre Cecil. Père Cecil. Is that an English name? He was English, like Monsieur Francois? Now, whoever told you Francois is English? That is, of course, untrue. I already spoke too much, mon Agnes. All that is said in confidence and risks endangering you. He got up, his melancholy taken over by some mild curiosity. This unassuming Lady Gardner was quite attentive, wasn't she? I may need the journal back soon. Please take good care of it, and it may be in your interest not to speak of any of this to anyone. I trust in your discretion. Okay, this is taking an interesting turn. Whatever's in this journal isn't important enough for the Musketeers to want it, which means they know of its existence. Not a very good spy, if you ask me, if the Musketeers know of the existence of his journal. Alright, let's end the month. We end May with everything done and enter the month of June. From now on, you are fully in charge of the garden. If you let plants die, you might need to reload a previous save or autosave. Okay. If you let plants die. Agnes was browsing the journal on her way to the garden, enraptured in an illustration of what was evidently a beverages officinalis, even if it was missing some notable features. Barrage, huh? The pages, filled with dense English writing Agnes found impossible to decipher, were speckled with illustrations and silhouettes, and Latin names for plants she was quite familiar with. The blue flower caught her eye. It was naturally occurring and likely to flower this season, and indeed there was the first star flower of the season, timidly peeked through her late bloomer brethren. Barrage was said to help with potency of love and other such affairs of tenderness, little use in an abbey, or for Agnes that matter. If anything, Agnes saw herself among the late bloomers. She harvested the flower as a voice from the garden entrance startled her to attention. Agnes, may I steal a short minute from your duties? Agnes quickly smashed the flower in the open journal page before catching up with the lawyer. Your questions had me thinking about the journal. I have to admit, I had been thinking about it myself. What information must it hold for the Cardinal to be so interested in it? Exactly what I was considering myself, mon ami. I can decipher the journal mentions and illustrations of plants, but I cannot understand the English writing. That's quite all right. We can keep working together to uncover its secrets. But more pressingly, I am keen to answer your previous question, and I know just the person that may help us do so. Tell me, who in the Abbey is more likely to know the Cardinal's motives while still putting the interests of the Abbey front and center? L'Abbess. Just so, mon ami, just so. But we must be cautious. Go talk to La Mère Angelique. Tell her I must speak to her of a matter concerning my old profession. She'll understand. I will go find her right away. So we need to go talk to the mother. Bonjour, mother. May I take a moment of your time? Bien sûr, Agnes. What can I do for you? I was sent by Antoine. He asks if he may talk to you about a matter concerning his old profession. Oh, Agnes, what did Antoine drag you into? Nothing worrisome, mother, not quite as such. Stop with the evading, young lady. What is this about Antoine's old misguided cases? Agnes was taken aback by the abbess's reaction. Had she allowed herself to be duped by the lawyer? May I ask, mother, has Antoine worked on a case involving a certain John Cecil? So that's what this is about. I will take care of this. You should really refuse to get involved in such matters of state. I fear it may be too late for that. His journal is already hidden in your garden. There's a journal? Could that be why the Cardinal Musketeers pry their noses in the Abbey's business? We must find out more about this. I might have to involve my brother. He must read it. That may be complicated. It is ciphered. I was helping Antoine deciphering it, and it requires knowledge of plants not unlike the ones I care for in the garden. It appears the Lord may mean for you to join that meeting. But I won't. I care not about you and Antoine playing spy, as long as you do not endanger the Abbey. I would never, mother. This is my home. Not only yours, my dear. This journal may require hard choices from us all. Robert, my brother, is scheduled to visit in a few days. In fact, I had brought you these rue seeds, hoping for you to plant them before his arrival. He has also grown interested in gardening of late, but there are few with as much familiarity with royal politics. He might offer some sorely needed context in understanding the risks this journal may bring. Okay, well, this journal is getting a little scary here. So we need to harvest borage and plant rue. And of course do our usual run around and water things. We can harvest seeds from this, huh? Okay. All right. We have harvested seeds. So, water. Decaying, huh? Wonder why. We have flowers to harvest here. I will harvest one of each. The borage has flowers to harvest too. And this one has leaves to harvest. And I'm assuming this is all going in inventory. Yes, we have 2 marigold flowers, 2 borage flowers, and 1 borage leaf. We have seeds here. Okay, plants are decaying. So that one's decayed. This one is fine, but we have seeds to harvest. What about this one here? We'll have lots of groundsel seeds, that's for certain. Very interesting. It's a very slow, deliberate game. Another plant decaying. How is our sage is doing good. Oh, we have sage to harvest. I'm assuming they're all ready to harvest. They are. All right, let's check these out. Satisfied. Alright, those are all happy. I think that was everything currently in the garden. Now I'm wondering if we shouldn't dig up the plants that are decaying, or if we should leave them to add fertilizer to the soil. Not certain. But we do need to harvest 2 more barrage. I just realized. That's the valerian. That's the marigolds. Ah, okay. So we have new seeds to plant. Rue. We need to plant rue. I don't know if I want to plant that close to the bush, but okay. Boy, how much water do these take? Needs gravel. Oh, we've overwatered it too. Alright, so the rest of them were fine. We need to find gravel. I wonder if we plant it over here, would it be happier? Oh, we can't. Okay. Fortunately, he seems we can dig the seeds up. Interesting. Okay, so let's go get... So I guess we can't add the gravel until... Alright, let's plant 1. Plant it over here instead. Okay, that worked. That made it happy. Now we know what to do for the others. Of course, this makes me curious to find out more about these plants and if this is, accurate. Like, does rue really need a gravelly soil to grow? All right, so we've done the mandatory things. Go ahead and dig this one up. We'll replace it with a new one. And where was that other one that was decaying? This one. Alright, rue. Its blue leaves are as pretty as they smell foul. It will repel cats and snakes. They tell me it was used in the four thieves' vinegar and a dangerous remedy. Touching it can burn. I should be careful. So we have 5 miracle flowers, 4 barrage flowers, 1 barrage leaf, and 6 sage leaves. I feel like we can take 1 more leaf off of each of the sages. We don't want to take them all. We want the sage to keep growing after all. Alright, I think that's everything, so let's leave the garden and go talk to this kind of angry looking gentleman here, who I believe is the Abbess's brother. Agnes and Antoine accompanied Robert Arnauld de Andilly, I know I pronounced that wrong, in a walk under the cloister, seeking respite from the warm summer air. The Abbess's brother walked with a slow but sure pace, eyes fixed onto the floor as he politely conversed. "My dear sister tells me you have need to speak with me, nephew." "Yes, we've been blessed with visitors that I would not call exactly welcome." "Ah, yes, I hear Cardinal Mazarin has remembered our beloved abbey, alas. Do you happen to know what his prying eyes may have been looking for?" Antoine poignantly looks at Agnes. She got the hint and hurriedly took the journal out of her rucksack. "We came into possession of this journal. It is ciphered. I am here to help decipher it, my lord. It belonged to the dear departed John Cecil." "I see. Come, child, show me, what do we have here?" Agnes opened the journal to a page she had deciphered earlier. The distinguished man proved himself quite the connoisseur of the gardening arts. He solved the cipher almost without Agnes's help. "I must compliment you on your knowledge, mademoiselle. The garden is in good hands, I see. This journal is dangerous, nephew. With our dear king leaving for greener pastures, we can expect Anne of Austria and Cardinal Mazarin to strengthen the kingdom using any tool they can get their hands on. Access to such a journal can be just what they need to reveal many of a person of dubious allegiances. Surely they would not chase such a nebulous trail themselves. You of all people should know who they'd entrust the case to. Chancellor Pierre Seguier. You must have some hard choices ahead of you. Many will be seeking access to the journal, and it may change the political landscape of France, if not beyond. I will retreat to my chambers now. Thank you for the company. Oh, and Mademoiselle Agnes, come pay a visit when your obligations allow. I'd be glad for a converse with another luminary of the gardening arts." "It'll be my pleasure, my lord." Okay, how dangerous is this journal? Holy smokes! I guess we're going to find out. "I was pleased to hear you were able to plant the rue seeds my sister gave you. I was happy to do it. The ladies of the village lately have been asking if I could provide some. I was able to save some seeds for my own little garden should they need them again. Ah, yes, Rue can make quite the remedy, the 4 thieves vinegar, a tricky one to administer, and a tricky plant to keep content. Have you been keeping them in fairly dry soil? I believe sandy would be best. I am sorry to contradict, my lord, but I believe gravel and stone would be better in this case. Surely that's too much. As long as their soil is kept dry, it's fine. True, but the Abbey is blessed with very damp soil. Quite often I arrive at dawn to find the garden flooded by the swamp and humidity collected in the valley. I see. So it follows that for the soil to remain dry, strong drainage becomes essential. Do you have enough stone and gravel for such a wet ground? I could rally the village builders. I will be quite all right, my lord. The garden provides everything I require. I just use my shovel to collect the soil plants need. The weathered garden walls have all the gravel I need. It has been piled in a corner of the garden, and the dead leaves falling off trees make the soil the perfect humus. And I noted some patches of clayey ground. The garden is small. That's all the clay I need. Very prepared, I see. I thank you for the demonstration of your botanical expertise. Were that I could dedicate my life to such matters. I'm told there's plenty of space in the Abbey, my lord. It appears the kingdom yet needs me, for a little while at least. But I thank you for the invitation, my child. May we all find fertile soil in which to thrive. So sadly, we did not get any more information about what's going on. But it seems that this Robert would prefer a much quieter life than he leads. One wonders. I have to admit, this screen, very interesting, very sketchy drawing. With just the basics, here's the cathedral. And we know this to be the Abbess garden. And I guess this is the town around. Some forested area in the back, or wooded, I guess, would be more appropriate term. Little farm over this way. That's where that one guy, the redhead, lives. And very appropriate music, too, I think. Alright, let's end the month. We enter the month of September. Oh, and who's this mysterious person here? Agnes entered the garden, the journal ever in her hands, but it was time to put it back in its hiding place. At a last leaf, through it revealed the dry boorish flower she had put in there last July. She caught it as it fell and pulled it to her heart. Ah, they love don't leave me to dry like this flower. She crushed it and let the dust fall, giggling. Her eyes were caught by a shapely derriere rummaging through the plants. Agnes quickly hid the journal under her apron. Who goes there? The owner of the butt sprinted away, but her escape lasted little. She stumbled on the hole in the ground that Agnes had left for the journal and fell to her face. You're going to hurt yourself. Peace go bat late for that. She rolled on the ground to face Agnes. A nursely complexed face greeted the gardener. Let me take a look. Agnes approached the visitor, taking her sandaled foot with a strong hand. So, who does this foot belong to? I'm Isabel, if that's what you're asking. The stranger said it with an accent that made Isabella seem like a more appropriate name. You may have turned your foot, Isabel. I'll be fine. Not if I left to your own devices, evidently. Wait here. Agnes left to harvest some arnica and sat cross-legged in front of the stranger to prepare and apply it. Oh, arnica, that one I know. Arnica gel is actually very useful for burns and sprains. And yes, it does work. So, what brings a distinguished lady to a restricted garden? Huh. Food. That Hasburg doesn't feed their people. The southerner met her gaze, caught in a lie. You'd be surprised. And I'm not their subject, if that's what you're getting to. Not anymore. I'm just a vagrant, tasting the freedoms this world can offer. Agnes caught herself staring into her hazel eyes. Much freedom, that is, if it leaves you starving. Does it? Freedom can be found in the kindness of strangers, too. Is it alms from the sisters that you're looking for? Because I'm no sister, you're just a worker. Isabel took Agnes's hand, soiled in arnica poultice. Let me work with you. It's not up to me. Are you not lording over this garden? It's not my garden. Agnes found herself staring into her prying brown eyes again. She sighed it. Very well, come along. All right, so we got two people to talk to now. The mother, which I'm sure will not be particularly happy to find that somebody else has been entering her garden, and our friend here. Talk to the mother first. Have you made a new friend, Agnes? Who is this pretty young lady? A vagrant looking for work and lodging. I imagine the Abbey restoration will need many hands at work. Indeed. And she does look strong enough. She is. I am. She's hard-working and bright. I have seen it myself. Agnes lied. Very well. There's plenty of work and plenty of lodging in the guest quarters for one willing to take part in their restoration. I'll keep my eyes on you, young lady. May be that if you prove as hard a worker as Agnes says, we might have a paid position for you. I'm very grateful, Mother. This place is falling to pieces. There is plenty to restore beyond the guest quarters. So, she got her a job. Not necessarily in the garden, but she got her a job. Now let's go see what our friend needs. And Agnes, thank you for joining me in that chat with Robert last month. I hope it was useful. Honestly, I'm tired. One comes here trying to escape all this politicking and subterfuge, and Seguier, of all people, is still chasing this affair. The tool of Richelieu. Oh, pardon me, Agnes. I should not spread such rumors. If only you knew what he is capable of. I'm well and ready to leave this all behind. But how can I, in good conscience, leave the journal in the hands of a regency who would employ the likes of Seguier? It is not a choice you'll have to make on your own. Many of us are involved in this now. That is true, Agnes, and it is only right that the community should decide its own fate. But I remain ashamed of my role in endangering it. As you should be, sir. How dare you? So we need to plant some columbine. We need to make the garden prettier. We can replant and move plants. I can use this to organize the space as I prefer. And we need to harvest borage seeds so we can plant more. And I see many plants need watering right now. And the Rue is satisfied though. Ah, but Rue does like to be dry, I see. So these plants do not like to be dry, so we should probably water them. In fact, they like to be quite wet. Alright, they are doing fine. How are our marigolds doing? Okay, they're satisfied. We still have 2 or 3 flowers to harvest. I guess we can harvest some more flowers. Okay. And the barrage is happy. We do have some flowers to harvest, so we'll harvest them. Now, we didn't have any seeds to harvest. Wait, what about these plants? Here's our seeds. I guess we can dig these up. Alright. We have one more flower to harvest here. We all need watering. Okay, the valerian is happy and dormant. Oh, because right now it's inappropriate for growth. Okay. And the sage is flowering. This is a very detailed game. I mean, the simplified graphics aside, the information they give you about the different flowering plants and what they need is quite detailed. Go ahead and harvest the marigolds. I do wish there was a little more of a visual indicator of if you've harvested everything. The plant doesn't change its appearance. Okay, that's groundsel and it's budding. Now, it did say it wanted us to move plants. Oh, let me plant this marigold here. And of course we need to water it. Okay. Now it has 3 flowers to harvest, or maybe it always did. We had 18 marigold flowers, 18 barrage, 1 barrage leaf, 9 sage leaves, and 6 sage flowers in our inventory. We can move these marigolds too. And they seem to be happy. We need to move 1 more plant. That's actually an objective, moving the plants around. Space these out a little better. This will need water. So we have the columbine seeds. And of course, we don't know anything about the columbine until we plant it. Needs humus and gravel. And here's the gravel. Is this must be the other ingredient. No, that's clay. Alright, so that did not work. That's clay, which we don't need. If I have a plant that needs clay and gravel, that spot's good for it. So we know that's clay, that's not what we need. Ah, here we go. Okay, soil type is satisfied. Okay. Okay. All right. And that covered everything we need to do. Still feel like I want to spread these out a little more. It's still not great, but it's a little better. So it does give you some considerable freedom what you want to do once you finish the tutorial phase of this. It's kind of nice. And somebody's probably a better garden planner than I am. I'm more used to growing vegetables and putting things in containers than putting things in the ground. That's just me. To unlock the next chapter, you need to complete all objectives, talk with everybody, replant all dug up plants. Yeah, but they're... Okay, I'll plant them over here. They're mature, happy, and dormant. Oh, I can collect seeds from them. So I guess I should do that. Now we have 8 borage seeds, 8 groundsel seeds. Alright, I guess we talk to Isabella again. Thank you for the help in my obligations, Isabel. They are my obligations too, thanks to you. The 2 girls were closing down the garden after a long day of work. I didn't see her in there with me, did you? Did anybody see Isabel helping us out? I didn't. I am sure there is plenty of work at the Abbey beyond the garden. It is much drabber work when it does not involve you. Agnes dropped the keys to the gate. They both crouched to pick them up, locking eyes. Her eyes, those damnable eyes. The warden ought to be careful with the keys. Yes, Will you be working on the guest quarters tomorrow? You're not even supposed to enter the garden. You will be working on the guest quarters, yes? Isabel got up. I imagine I will. Thank you again for your help, Isabel, truly. I will be here if you need me. Agnes hurried away, missing thrice what would have been the direct path home, her mind occupied by novel and exciting confusion. Isabel remained there in darkness, fidgeting with keys that should not be hers. He waited a few, after Agnes disappeared beyond the Abbey's perimeter. In darkness, she unlocked the garden and made her way back in. Okay, Isabel's problem. I feel like Isabel's Isabel's also looking for this journal. Do not trust her. To unlock the next chapter, you need to replan all digged out plans, which we've done, talk with everybody, and complete all objectives. It is now October. All right, we will do one more month. Agnes followed Angelique outside the church after High Mass, discussing the sermon. Make no mistake, my dear, God's grace is not given liberally. It is by God's grace that the garden you are tending is the Abbess's garden, and it's thriving as a consequence of it. I still don't understand, Mother. Is it not by my work that the garden is bearing fruit? Not by the work of the master of the vineyard that good grapes may be expected? Angelique appeared to be preparing for an impatient retort when a young lady elegantly dressed interrupted them. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and he looked for justice, but behold bloodshed, for righteousness, but behold an outcry. What? It was part of the sermon. It's a metaphor, my new friend. We cannot expect the sacred authors to be as versed in the agrarian arts as you appear to be. Yes, that may be an acceptable interpretation, I suppose. May our exalted mother correct me if I speak out of turn. But that passage is commenting on people misusing the grace of God, not expressing judgment on an honest worker's art. Indeed, and I would add that God's grace does play a role in your garden through you. God's grace is your ability in the garden and the opportunities you had to nurture them. It sounds like our Reverend Mother is saying that the garden is what it is because of you, and that you are what you are because of God's grace. Agnes considered their words before moving her attention to more pressing matters. And who have I the pleasure of talking to, demoiselle? Ah, yes, allow me to introduce you to the Marquis de Sylvain, to be, and Marie de Rabutin Chantal still. The marriage is many months away, Mother. I, for one, consider this encounter to have happened also by the grace of God. Marie had just been inquiring about a tour of the Abbey. Why don't you show her the grounds, Agnes, next time she has a chance to visit us? It would be my pleasure, and mine to have your company. Okay. More political intrigues. You would think the church would not be involved in such things, but apparently back in the 17th century they were quite heavily. We must look for new plants. Goff says lungworts are sprouting everywhere. I should check to see if any are in the garden. Why are we watering the random ground? Would you stop it? Oh, we have sage seeds. Oh, we will harvest those. The sage has been plenty happy right here. I've not had to water it or anything. It was a very good place to put it. Our marigolds need to be watered. Oh, we have flowers here to harvest. I still say this is as much a visual novel as it is a gardening sim. Okay. Oh, flowers here. You know, marigolds are very cheerful looking flowers, but they're also very stinky flowers. I will say that. Maybe that's part of the reason that bugs seem attracted to them. Okay. All right, those are happy. What stage are they growing at? Oh, they're dormant. But they're happily watered. All right. What do we got going on here? They need to be a little more watered. Hopefully we haven't all overwatered this one. Nope, it's fine. All right. What have we here? Ah, lungwort. It needs humus and gravel and water. Well, here's our gravel. There's our humus. All right, now it's happy. All right, these are, it says happy and dormant. Need watering again. What are we doing here? Oh, we have some leaves to harvest on this rue. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, that is fine. We just need to harvest some leaves. Now, this is some more lungwort. Feel like we're going to move these. Oh no, I didn't want to move that one. This tree is getting in the way. All right. Make sure that plant is still happy. Plants usually do not like to be moved like that. I will say that much. Okay, we have seeds here. Well, we'll have plenty of seeds. And you are dry. You need watering. Oh, there's something here that's not happy. What is it? I'll move you over here. All right, you seem happy now. Everything else is doing well. So we have 3 more vegetating lungwort. Boy, mouthful. Okay, they need hummus and gravel. Wait, do they all need hummus and gravel? Let's make sure. Yes. We have 3 gravel. You think being right near the source of the hummus that the plants would be fine with that part, but apparently we need to put them both down. Alright, so watering should do it. Okay, happy, happy, happy. All right. Optional, discover all stages of lungwort. I should examine lungwort each month to see how it grows and draw each stage in my journal. All right, so we had columbine that we planted. Says its delicate purple flowers have a hook behind each petal like an eagle's claw. It would be wise not to eat them. Lungwort. Its leaves look like lungs and are said to help with breathing diseases. Fresh leaves may be packed on the chest to calm an irregular heartbeat. Press X to doubt on that one, but okay. Okay, well, we've done everything here. Our garden is starting to become a little more organized. I don't know if organized is the word you really want to use when growing a flower garden, a flower and herb garden, well, maybe an herb garden. But we have two people to talk to, Gross and Isabella. Let's go with Isabella first. Agnes had been leading Marie on a tour of the Abbey grounds when a winded Isabel interrupted them. Agnes! Ah, speak as a devil. Marie, this is Isabel. Along with Antoine and Francois, she is responsible for bringing the Abbey back to how it was before being abandoned. The Basque beauty seemed quite preoccupied, sweat dripping off her work clothes. Agnes, Francois sends me to warn you. We have discovered a suspicious person nosing around the garden. What? Are you okay? Agnes instinctively took Isabel's hands, worried, before catching herself and dropping them in embarrassment. The moment did not escape Marie's eyes, thirsting for tea. She smiled knowingly but kept her silence. Isabel was quick to regain her composure. When we confronted her, she ran. I tried to catch her, but I lost her. Not many can outrun me. She's a professional. You are the one that needs to be careful, Agnes. Spicy? What is this drama I hear? Oh, pardon me, mademoiselle. Oh, don't mind me. Do continue. How might this suspicious prowler look like? Slim, dark clothes, a hood covering a blonde hairdo. Gracious heavens. I know exactly who you're talking about. I saw her when waiting for Agnes at the village. It is not an inoffensive prowler you're dealing with. I have seen her having a far more suspicious rendezvous with what can only be a very luxuriously dressed individual. A rendezvous of a monetary nature. This prowler of yours is being paid by powerful people. Will the Abbey's secrets never cease? Marie's attention seemed to perk up at the mention of secrets. Oh, don't you worry, Agnes. Powerful individuals are my bread and butter. I'll look into it. I have no doubt we can find who's behind these infractions. Okay, so we just dragged another person into all this drama. Okay. Good morning, Goss. Maybe a good morning for you, Agnes. My lungworts refuse to sprout this season. I'm sorry, Goss. Maybe I could give you some cuttings from the Abbess's garden. Oh, no, it's all right. I've got plenty of time before spring. It's not the first time they've given me problems. In fact, you should be careful yourself. They are prickly sorts, those lungworts. Make sure to check on them often. Yeah, I noticed that they're very particular. I'm not sure what to make of all the drama going on in this game. I mean, I know that it's very much a visual novel with a side of farming sim, but dang, I didn't realize 17th century was that full of drama. But I think that is where we're going to leave it off. So, my first impressions of the game. I do like the art style. The farming portion of it is actually very relaxing and quite informative. I'll have to look up and see the accuracy of the information, although I get the feeling these people put a lot of thought into that part. And I'll probably find that the information on the plants, their historical uses, and the type of conditions they need are fairly accurate. I kind of like that you have a lot of freedom to put the plants where you want them in the garden. So there is that. Agnes seems to be a very headstrong young woman. I don't know how well she would have fared in the 17th century, but there you have it. The other characters are interesting. Mother Angelique seems like she might have a few secrets of her own, but you know, there's a whole bunch of intrigue going on here. Definitely a lot of drama. And I'm still trying to figure out why the Musketeers and the people in power here really want to get their hands on this journal. There's got to be a lot more to it than what we've seen so far. All in all, for $10 US at the full price, it's not a bad little game. I'll have to continue on and see how it progresses. I'm not really keen on the romance part of it. Just generally, when I play these games, I'm more interested in the farming aspect. I do like the political intrigue part of it. It has got me wondering what's going to happen next. And definitely kind of got mixed feelings on the fact that it's split of a visual novel type of thing and a farming sim. You don't really get to explore the rest of the world. The one thing you do see very clearly is the garden. It's like you are Agnes, and her main focus is that garden. And everything that happens around her is just kind of an aside, if that makes sense. But all in all, I would say it's a pretty good game. I mean, it would depend on how you feel about the visual novel part of it. If visual novels are your thing and you don't mind the farming sim part, you'll very much enjoy it. If you... Hold on. Excuse me. If you enjoy farming sims much more and a little more freedom, you might be a little more leery about this game. Definitely not a game for you if you want to explore more of the world. There doesn't seem to be any of that. So I would say very, very niche game. It's nice though. I'm really enjoying the historical part of it and learning about plants, which they seem to have done very realistically. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, it is noon here. I have not had breakfast yet. So I would like to go get a little lunch. And, well, this was quite fun. Let's end our month. It's not letting me end the month. There we go. Let me thank everybody that has stopped in. Special thank you to DP70 for popping in and hanging out. I really appreciate you. For those of you who have popped in and out, or you stuck around and lurked, well, thank you. I appreciate you all too. Next time, say hi. I promise I don't bite. And of course, if y'all don't want to miss all the fun chaos on the channel, and you haven't already, y'all know what to do. All the fun cookie things YouTube wants you to do. We are working our way to 1,000 subs, maybe by my birthday in 2 months, but we're close. We are with less than 100 subs away, so we'll see how that goes. Now, you lovely people have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're at. Until next time, bye for now.